The pick is in.
The Chicago Blackhawks have made their next pick in the 2025 NHL Draft. I'm Rachel Donner, joined again by Jack Bushman of Locked On Blackhawks. And the Chicago Blackhawks have selected forward Mason West with the 29th overall pick, trading back in to the first round to get a football player. How you feeling about it?
Yeah, very interesting decision here. I don't know necessarily if Mason West was going to go in the first round to another team. So I'm a little bit confused as to why Kyle Davidson packaged both his second round selections along with a fifth in 2027 to move up. But it must have been because they really liked the athleticism that Mason West provides. And we've seen the Blackhawks go in a similar mold to this one with AJ Spellacy in the third round of last year, had D1 football offers out of the state of Ohio, which in the United States is like a football haven. So grew up playing football, thought that's where his future was going to take him, but wound up having a pretty bright future in hockey as well. The Blackhawks selected him in the third round last year, and he actually impressed a lot of folks during training camp and stuck around a lot longer than anyone anticipated. So maybe the Blackhawks got some encouragement from what they saw out of football guy AJ Spellacy last year and decided to go with that same path here out of Mason West. It's a little confusing to me, but another good athlete added to Chicago, another guy with size, common theme I've talked about here on the show. He's 6'6", 218 pounds. So this one feels like it's going to be a couple of years till we really know what's going on here, but certainly a fascinating selection here by the Blackhawks at number 29.
Yeah, really interesting path he's going to take because he played most of this past season in high school in Minnesota, then signed with the Fargo Force in the USHL for the tail end of their season, had a really successful late season run in the USHL, but he's going back to high school to finish out his football career. That he'll be at Michigan State, though, in 26, 27. So that is an excellent place for him to develop as a player, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Really good spot for him to wind up. And maybe he'll be that same, like, Anders Lee style of player. We saw him as a high school quarterback there in Minnesota. It actually might have even been the same high school, quite honestly, because I know Mason West is out of Edina there in Minnesota. 37 touchdowns, 4 interceptions on the year, by the way. So I do understand him wanting to go back to play his last year of high school ball. But yeah, going to be heading to Michigan State once he wraps up his football days. And obviously they've done a phenomenal job developing numerous prospects over the last decade or two. So seems like a really good spot for him once he's, fully committed to his hockey career.
Yeah, he's a really good skater. He uses that stride size because of his height to his advantage. He thinks he has a great shot. I don't know if that'll continue to be so as he develops. But I think like the one big knock on his game is his physical game because he does have that size, but he doesn't win as many battles along the boards as you think he would.
Yeah, just a little bit raw, I think. Maybe just not high-end experience. Again, for a kid that was playing college hockey in Minnesota for a majority of this year, only got 10 games of USHL action, so hasn't necessarily been playing at the highest competition level. So I think going to Michigan State in the Big Ten, going up against, some of the best programs in the entire country should absolutely do him wonders. But yeah, another little bit of a project here for the Blackhawks late in the first round.
Yeah, he certainly showed out well at the scouting combine with some really strong results in some of the fitness tests. And, he ranked pretty high in the pull-ups as well. So the bones are there, so to speak, in order for him to develop into a really good player. And he made significant progress in his time in the USHL. And that shows he's coachable, which is important for any prospect, right?
Yeah, 100%, 100%. And being a multi-sport athlete, I think gives you just a good perspective all around. So I'm very interested to see how he's going to develop at Michigan State these next couple of years. And it's funny, I mentioned, with Vaclav Nestor still very similar to Sam Renzel. Well, here we go with Mason West. Sam Renzel was playing high school hockey right before he got drafted by the Blackhawks as well. So a lot of similarities that the Blackhawks and kind of common themes that we've seen Kyle Davidson go to here with his later first round draft selections.
Well, for continued coverage of Mason West and the rest of the Blackhawks picks in this year's draft, check out Locked On Blackhawks on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.